Ahoy there me hearties, I'm Captain Feathersword, the friendly pirate. Drew Pickles says that I can start this video off, as he is just finishing up in the bathroom. He's got a new and swell story to tell you all. Be sure to like this video and have yourself a swell time with your host Drew Pickles.
Bag, that intro is very swell. Hello my pretties, I'm your swellest host Drew Pickles. Today, I have a story to tell you all. It'll be about the time I declined starring in the 1999 Disney movie known as Tarzan. It was during the late 90s, where I was working on my next season of the Rugrats. It was just a year after I finished working on the Rugrats movie. I was approached by a phone call from the directors, Kevin Lima and Chris Buck. They asked me if I wanted to star in the Tarzan movie. I said, "Bag, that sounds super duper swell, count me in." I headed over to the Disney Animation Studios to star in the Tarzan movie. However, I had some swell ideas and changes to make the Tarzan movie so swell. However, they asked me in what the changes are, so I will be stating them right now. What are my reasons for declining my role, you all may be asking? Well, calm down you dumbasses, I was just getting to that point. The opening of the movie will take place in the late 1880s, where a British couple and their infant son are shipwrecked off the Congolese coast. However, Tarzan's parents would be played by brothers to Pickles, which his wife Diddy Pickles. Baby Tarzan would also be played by my nephew Tommy Pickles. The gorillas in the movie would be changed to them being cast by the Cullens family from the Twilight Saga series. Bella would be Kala, while Edward plays the role of Kirkek. Renasami would be an extra character, as she is Edward and Bella's daughter. The scene of Bella entering the treehouse would be the same, which she would find Tommy Pickles alone, which his dead parents' corpses lying on the ground. She would soon be chased by Saber the leopard. Saber in this version of the movie would be played by Simon the cat creature from Scooby-Doo in Zombie Island. However, Bella and Tommy got out of the treehouse and they headed back to the jungle. Edward would tell Bella to get rid of the child now, since they had Renasami to look after. However, Edward and Bella get into an argument over Tommy being added to the family, even though he is adopted by her. The rest of the Cullens will tell Edward to back off right the pulp now, but he was being a prick and not giving a shit about what Bella wants. The songs that Phil Collins sings in this movie would be the same as his songs, as very swell. The next scene takes place years later, where Tarzan would be a child and he would be played by Peter Pan, as Dirk would be played by Rosalie Cullen. They would see the elephants in the pound and Rosalie would dare Peter Pan to get an elephant scare. Tanner the elephant would be played by my best friend Barney the dinosaur. He would be a small version of him for this part of the movie. The scene with the elephant stampede would have been changed to the dinosaur rampage, where they kill everything in sight, minus Peter Pan, the Cullens and Barney. When Edward starts getting pissed with Peter Pan, Bella and Renasami defend him saying that he is just a child. This next part of the movie is where Peter Pan finds himself treated differently because of his different physique, so he makes great efforts to improve himself. The scene where Tarzan is an adult, I would be playing the role as adult Tarzan, so that is where I come in to play my role in the movie. The next scene where Simone attacks the Cullens will go as normal, with me killing Simone by stabbing her with a dagger spear. After killing Simone, I would be gaining some of Edward's reluctant respect. Then, when we hear the gunshots in the distance, the Cullens would be moving away, while I go to investigate the gunshots. The next scene would have 3 humans in the jungle. Clayton, the villain of the movie, would be played by Shinnok from Mortal Kombat, while Professor Porter would be played by Lou Pickles. His daughter Jane would be played by my wife Charlotte Pickles. However, when Charlotte accidentally becomes separated from the group and she soon gets chased by a mandrill troop, until I save her by swinging on the vines. The chase would be very swell, with Fatty Bear and Pube Muppet joining in the chase. Originally the scene where we get chased to the tree would have been the same, however the scene would have been altered to me and Charlotte locking ourselves in an abandoned hut, as the mandrills run off along with Fatty Bear and Pube Muppet. Charlotte and I meet each other, and it would have been played the same way. However, Charlotte and I ended up getting it on in the hut. It would have sounded like this is super swell. Charlotte, as Jane Porter is super swell. And now for the big finish of the scene, like Bag, that was swell. After that lovemaking session, Charlotte would ask me to take her to her camp, to which I agreed to, as it is very swell. The scene of the Cullens family with Barney minus Bella and Edward. They would all be trashing the camp. It would have been the same, but however, the scene would have added Barney eating spicy curry, to which it would give him red hot farts and runs. When Shinnick along with Lou Pickles and Charlotte and I entering the scene, Bella would have found me and Edward would try to hurt Charlotte Pickles. Remus and me start at her father, so Edward left Charlotte alone and got the Cullens to leave the camp. The scene of me sneaking out of the Cullens to meet Charlotte, Lou and Shinnick would be the same as normal, with strangers like me song being played in the background. However, when Shinnick asks me to take them to see the Cullens, I would have pressed Barney to be Lou Pickles, with Rosalie to be my wife Charlotte. The scene with us meeting the Cullens would have been so swell, until Edward charges at Shinnick, for having a gun pointed at one of the Cullens. I would be fighting with Edward, just to give Charlotte and her father with Shinnick enough time to get out of the forest. The next scene would have been Edward saying I betrayed him and I would be ending up going with Charlotte and her family back to America, after I said goodbye to Bella. The next scene would have transitions to the next day. As we aboard the ship, it was a trap, as Shinnick would have captured me, Charlotte and Lou in a room. Shinnick said he had plans to capture the Cullens and sell them. The scene where Barney and Rosalie heard me scream, they would have had to head to the boat to save us. Barney would have red hot farts on the fugs, while Rosalie saves us, so we all headed back to the forest to stop Shinnick and save the Cullens. The scene will have Shinnick and his fugs capturing the Cullens, including Remus and me to sell them. They would be stopped by me, Charlotte, Lou, Barney and Rosalie would be scaring the fugs and killing them, while we rescue and free the Cullens from danger. As soon as they were free, Shinnick would have fired his rifle at me, as he shot my arm. As Edward runs up to kill Shinnick, he would have been shot by him as well. The last fight would have been the same, but with me using the gun to fire at Shinnick. The scene would have also had him turn into corrupt Shinnick, and he was gonna kill me for what I did. You know the way Clayton dies in the movie, where he has a vine around his neck and hangs himself, when he falls to his death. Well, the scene would have been altered to me pushing Shinnick to his death, too, where he would be falling down from the treetops, splatting like a tomato in the ground. The scene where Edward apologies would be the same, but instead of him dying, he survives his injuries and promotes me as leader of the Cullens. The ending of the movie would have had Charlotte Pickles and Lou Pickles staying in the jungle to live with me and the Cullens. We would also include our favorite members of the Line Sponge, including Fleagle from the Banana Splits, the Teen Titans, Mystery Inc., Patrick Star, Boris Anderson, the Shadow Reader and many more. And me and Charlotte would be going at it in the tree far away, to which that will end the movie off. The ending would have sounded like Disney makes awesome movies like this. Like seriously, why can't Disney make new movies and not remake them into live action movies? The Queen of Lions doesn't mind the live action remakes, but she likes the original better. And before the credits of the movie rolls, time for the final touch. Bag, that was swell. After I presented my idea for the movie, and how I think the Tarzan movie should go, but the directors, Kevin Lima and Chris Buck, were disgusted and shaking their heads. What the everlasting poke. This movie is a family-friendly movie, so we will not include the stuff you added to the movie to make it so not safe for work. I got pissed off at their response, so I was pretty mad at this. Well, if you don't see this piece of Line Sponge work, I won't be in this film. You can find some other cast and crew to make the Tarzan movie with. After that, I left the Disney Animation Studios and went back to Nickelodeon. I was still pissed that I didn't get my role in the movie, but it would have been so swell if Charlotte and I got our roles in the movie. Well, I guess that wraps up the video. If you all enjoyed this video, please leave a like, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications to when the Queen of Lions uploads a new video. And now, if you'd excuse me, I'm off to go have a swell time with Charlotte, Lindsay, Jenny and Little Rock. Catch you all later in the next video, my pretties.